Hey, welcome back to Cards and Comics. How's it going? How you doing? Just launched the Pirates, beat the Braves, so it's a good day. Not so good day yesterday. I recorded a whole video and did not have my audio turned on because I am a moron. So I'm going to redo it. I'm doing a update, a mail day update. Now you saw my last video was my Avengers 1, and so this is more of a sports card update, and I've got one major card that I know of that's in this pile of stuff. So I'll go over the cards I opened yesterday and didn't actually hit the sound. So here we go. First up is a Vlad Guerrero Topps Chrome. And yeah, base Topps Chrome Vlad Guerrero. Here we go. All right, next up, Mr. Kellenick. PSA 10 Bowman Chrome. Very nice. Next up, 2006 Derek Jeter Fleer PSA 10. A really cool base card. Excited about that. Next up is a Friendly Foes Willie McCovey and Leon Wagner. Why Leon Wagner? I don't know. There's some flavor text here. You know, most explosive long ball hitters. Well, I don't know. Leon Wagner, he was pretty good, I guess. I don't know. I don't know much about him. He's on the card, McCovey. He's definitely, shorter, so we can say that. And card's a lot off center, but it's an older grade. But still, fun card. Can't afford Hank Aaron cards every day, so it's a fun card. Here is a Bowman Platinum Refractor Mike Trout. And this is a 2018. So kind of a cool set. Just kind of an all-ball set, the Bowman Platinum set. Expensive, but nobody really cares that much about them. Next up is slowly putting together the 93 Finest set. Here's a John Burkett PSA 9. And then if you saw my Avengers video, you'll see that this card was in that, and I'll show it again in this video in case you're not a comic book fan. Here is a 62 Parker's Jacques Plante. Cool 60s Parker's hockey cards are fun. And last but not least, in the singles I had in my last video, is this cool 98 Topps Chrome, Barry Sanders Season's Best Refractor, and give you some flavor for the refractoring, the magic of the refractors, and yeah, cool 90s insert. And then last but not least, here's a box of Bowman's Best I'll be opening really soon, and be looking for Derek Jeter, Ken Griffey Jr. base, and refractors. And I've never opened a box of this in my life. All right, on to the stuff I got in today. Got some new stuff in. And hopefully there's something cool in here. I don't know what it is. Bought some stuff. Don't always know what every card is that I'm getting in, but this is a cool card. Very nice. Got some 77 Topps Terry Bradshaw. Now, cool thing about this set, guys, is obviously you've got the Mexican version, and I actually have almost the entire Steelers Mexican team, Mexican version of the team set, and I actually have the Mike Webster rookie card and a PSA 8. For people who don't know, the Mexican cards were highly susceptible to damage because a lot of wax stains. I think it was like a 2-card pack. They were also in a perforation, so they were stuck together, and so you had to tear them apart, and that damaged a lot of the cards. So Mexican cards are hard. That's all you need to take away. It's the top space version, and I always thought this card was just a cool card. Just a nice photo of Terry Bradshaw, and his cards are kind of going up a little bit. The vintage 70s stuff I thought would kind of go up a little bit more. It's not but there's a lot of it out there. In all honesty, a lot of '70s football is on the market. Um, it's not horribly rare. You can find it. Even graded stuff. '60s football is tough, and then '50s football is ridiculously tough. Really, in all honesty, to find high grade. So if you wanted to get some market inefficiencies, look for the cool '50s stuff. Hard to find. Hall of Fame stuff, Jim Brown stuff, obviously, is most preferred. Next up, if I can get the tape off, my bane of my existence, the tape. Oh, the tape. So much tape, tapey tape, lots of tape. Here are two Otani Heritage PSA 9s and volume cards for me, just to have some volume in Otani, because when I go to shows and set up, people ask for Otani cards. And, I got the dueling Otanis, floating around, doing their magic, pitching. I got one hitting, one pitching, you know. So, yeah, got double fisted Otanis here. And, yeah, for the card show market, having some inventory. All right, down to some big packages here. One is obviously a comic book. I pretty much know what that one is. I don't buy a ton of comic books, and when I do, I try to make them big. Just trying to be, that guy. Bragging about my massive, massive packages of comic books. And, everyone does have package envy sometimes. And I watch other people's videos, and I'm very envious of the guys going down to Dallas, because I wish I could go. But I got to work a real job, save people's lives, do all the good stuff I do in normal life, science the f out of stuff, lawyer stuff up, defend the common man, and make some breakthroughs in science. So, on a day's work for me, that's how it goes. Here is a 75 Topps mini wax pack. And true story, the video is like 7 minutes long. I can tell a story here. When I was a kid, there was a card shop that I went to all the time. It was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. For those who are not paying attention, I am originally from Oklahoma. And that shop had old wax. And this is what's so interesting for people. If you weren't in the 90s, people did not want old cards. And it was weirdly a time period where like 70s cards were and 80s cards were very boring compared to the hot new cool inserts and refractors and jersey cards and autos. And this is like 97. I'd say this is actually probably closer to 95, 96 when I was doing this. And so it was not the crash yet. And so I went to this card shop, and he was selling 75 mini wax packs for $20 a pack, 3 for $50. Kid you not? And I bought a lot. And so I used to have a big stack, this, other hand, there we go. Like this big of, 400 maybe minis. And I pulled the Robin out, but I never pulled the Brett. But I would go into the shop and, spend $50 on 3 packs, like religiously, like for months and months. And finally, he ran out of those. But I mean, I overlooked. He had 70s packs and 80s packs, and I remember like 84 Donners at one point were more expensive than 79 Topps, if you can believe that. So anyway, 75 mini goes into my pack, goes into my pack collection. Really excited. I want a base pack now. Anyone also paying attention used to be the minis were more expensive, and now the base set's overtaken it. And it's actually much harder to find a regular wax pack than a mini pack. I think people really hoarded the mini cards in the day because they were kind of the first real variation Topps ever did of a base set. And there was just this idea that these things were going to be super duper rare. And so even back then in the 70s, or probably more likely in the 80s, people kind of thought that these mini cards were going to be like highly sought after, and were kind of like hoarding them. And I do know a lot of dealers who did hoard the minis, thinking that they were going to be big, and for a while they were. And in fact, early PSA, if you go look at the cost of cards back in the day, the mini cards were more expensive in the SMR, and it wasn't until the last, I'd say like 5 or 6 years, that the base sets really overtaken the minis in terms of pricing and popularity. And it's just odd, because I grew up in the whole time period where the mini set was kind of the favored child, and the base set was kind of like, it was popular. 75 tops has always been a hugely popular set, but but you always count on that 20% premium for the minis and minimum. All right, second to last thing I'm going to show. Here we go. This is a SGC 9.8 Animal Man #1. This is, I'll scroll out here so I can show it a little bit bigger. This is an important comic, and I don't care if it's not worth a ton. I don't even know if there's any first appearances. I don't think there is. Animal Man wasn't his first appearance, but this is really, if you're a fan of storytelling, third wall breaking, weirdness, because this is Grant Morrison really getting his start and becoming a major force in comic books. And I know we don't buy artists anymore, screw story and all that. It's all about the cover art and first appearances, or movie hype. But this was a big deal. Like Grant Morrison, he really knocked it out of the park on this series, and then his run on Doom Patrol is legendary. And so you've got, Animal Man, which was a huge third wall breaking meta story, and then turns right around and does something even more crazy in Doom Patrol. So this is kind of the beginning of that craziness, that hotness back in 1988 when this book came out. This book was right around $100, and I just think, as a collector, not an investor, it's worth $100 to me. Screw what people think about what's cool in comic books. This is damn cool. Like Animal Man #1 is a freaking cool book. I don't care what anyone says. Animal Man rules. My next book to get is the first Morrison Doom Patrol. And I would love to have the whole Doom Patrol run in 9.8, just to be the uncoolest kid on the block. All right. Last thing up, I mentioned I had a big card, so this is the whole point of the video, is to show off this. I don't normally do this in terms of how I collect, but hey, I got this card. I really wanted Steph Curry auto. I do think these on-card autos like this of players like Curry are going to get limited in the future. Really, really, really limited, like they do LeBron and Jordan, right now, or before Jordan was even limited. In terms of, not being in the main sets anymore. I think, Curry autos are going to be few and far between. And so I wanted to pick up a really cool one. This one's on card. You can see it. It's numbered out of 49. It's on the back. You can see that. 15 of 49. So I love it. It's a nice auto. And it goes into I think he'll be a great of all time, so fits into that collection as well. So there you go. There is my mail day. I'll be showcasing this 94 Bowman's Best box soon. So stay tuned for that. This is coming up, and I'll talk to you next time.